they just took forever to unverify this guy who deservedly needed to get unverified, or at least they should have renamed him.
I did not censor Kent. It just didn't say the swear word, and now it censored you. No, it's probably my computer ready to catch fire.
I'm not against gambling, but I just don't want to see it in games. There's a place and time for this. In games, there's not.
Are we moving now? Yeah, we're moving now. Hello, everyone. This is our first podcast. This is Nerding It Out, and where did Lore go? Lore is gone, and he's back now. My name's Linktheinformer. I'm a variety caster, and I am hosting the show with these two wonderful people with a guest every week. Take it away, somebody.
I guess.
Hi. So we have LoreReloaded. So tell us a little bit about your channel, first of all, Lore.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm mostly a YouTuber. I have a presence on VidMe, but you guys can find me at youtube.com/LoreReloaded. Generally, I do a lot of mythos and lore surrounded around things like Star Trek, Star Wars, things like that. I'm lying to myself if I say people don't come there for anything but the Trek, but I try to do other things as well. Generally, like battle breakdowns, all kinds of stuff. So if it's nerdy, that's what I do. That's my channel.
All right. Yeah, no, I until Link told me that yet, I hadn't really heard your channel before. And I'm not a huge Star Trek nerd, but unless it comes to the Borg is the only thing I really like. So I watched your "If the Borg Took Over" video, which I thought was really well put together. So I can't remember exactly what it was titled, but I watched it like a week or two ago. So
the Federation Assimilated one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, it was based off of. I forget the name of the. I forget the name of the episode in The Next Generation, but there was an alternate reality where Riker had come from, where the Borg had taken over.
Right. Yeah.
I had decided to just take that and see, and try to lore craft out what would have happened if that had actually occurred. It's actually my most popular. It's what people noticed when they noticed the channel. I was at like 100 subscribers, and that was the video that kind of quote unquote went viral for me. So
yeah, I noticed it had like about 100,000 views by the time I watched it. So
yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I like doing other things too, Star Wars and things like that, but most people do come to my channel specifically for my Trek stuff. So
I'm just going to be binging them one day. I'm just going to watch all of them in one sitting. In one sitting.
Dude, I'm all for that. Do it.
And then I'll leave a comment on every single one because I'm obsessive. Also. Disordering. But
just right after the other. I mean, it's like one word. You're doing an entire sentence, but you're doing every video is just one word. So I'll have to go to every video to figure out what the sentence is.
It's just gonna say something like "smell my farts" after all that code, but it's like reversed. You're gonna have to like put it in a mirror, and then you're gonna figure. It's like, oh, thanks. I mean, it's one step above drink your Ovaltine, but you know.
That's probably more intellectual than some of the comments, so don't feel bad.
Well, it's what do you expect when you do nerdy stuff? You're gonna get weird people. To be honest, you could do anything and you'll get weird people. Like, Starstorm isn't here, but he is somebody that says things, don't pay too much attention to him. Don't pay attention to the man behind the chatter.
Come on, man. Anyway, I love your Star Wars stuff that you did today, at least. Whenever you load out the video, we talked about it earlier. Your whole spiel about the whole kind of how Deep Space Nine and Empire Strikes Back, how you guys were going back and forth with the story, how they kind of compared to each other. I love your analytics, man. I love what you got, how you think about stuff. A+. I love that episode for today.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it. Tomorrow I'm doing another Star Wars one too because of the movie coming out. I try to basically the videos are an extreme analytical view, unreasonable to most people, but some enjoy it. But nerd out like the group brings it up. But yeah, I used to be an analyst for a major corporation, so I'm glad that I could put that to good use in YouTube for the rest of my life. So I guess that's my claim to fame, as it were.
It's great, man. You're doing great.
Yeah, you do wonderful. Like with me, I did a call center dealing with angry people, so these trolls, there's nothing you can do that hasn't already been done. And I do wish I could have taken that woman up on that offer of the delicious home-cooked meal in El. But that would have been weird, especially since she was married.
What kind of food was it though?
I don't know. It's Canadian. It's fine. I don't need to worry about it.
Apparently.
So pretty much, yeah, poutine. So the point of this show is just we have topics that we generally have, but we can just rant all we want. You know, I mean, I figure if I just ask him something, Lore here in the third person, talking about it in the third person, something like, you know, what are your thoughts on like Star Trek: The Next Generation and the way that they like change the frequency of the phasers? Why do they keep doing it? And then in some of the things, Tuvok's like it keeps changing, but then that's not working. Do you have any theories on this frequency modulation thing and why in some episodes they have an explanation and they solve the problem, and other ones they just are like, "Ooh, it's not working this time."
Bad writing, I guess.
Earlier today.
In episode 365, why was it he said this thing, and in this episode he said the opposite thing?
Wait, what'd you say? You can't cure bad writing or something like that?
I was wondering if there was a lore-related reason. That's why I was asking, not just
Well, I mean,
the flippant
to what
answer.
specific you didn't give a specific enemy. What are they they modulate
The Borg.
their phasers.
Phasers against the Borg.
They modulated their phasers with other enemies as well, though. They haven't not just the Borg.
Yeah.
Well,
True.
I mean, the thing with the Next Generation versus Voyager, if you look at my videos, a lot of them are based in the Next Generation. I specifically go out of my way to not include Voyager, because Voyager does somewhat gimp the Borg ultimately. Before you even get to the end where you get the amazing shields and amazing stuff that just automatically kills the Borg. Yeah, I mean, I would have to look at specific episodes to take a look at. The only thing I would say is that Voyager was created after Wolf 359.
Mhm.
So like the Akira class and like the Man, what do I do with my life? How do I know this off the top of my head? But-
That's why you do what you do.
yeah, that's why that's why I do YouTube as a career. No, but the where was I? Oh, the Intrepid class ship was made after Wolf 359, when ships were made and designed specifically to fight the Borg, which is how I would explain that their frequencies and their changes can works a lot better versus what they were doing in the Next Generation, because the Galaxy class was not designed to fight a Borg cube. Every ship post Wolf 359 was designed at some point to it. And I know a lot of people like to say the Intrepid is a science ship, but that thing is a beast in combat too. It's a long-range science vessel, and it is a beast in combat. So that would be
Interesting.
my explanation.
I found that interesting. I'm sorry if you guys... Yeah, go. Sorry.
Dude, how long do you think it'll be before we get spaceships like that? Like the Star Trek Enterprise.
Wasn't it supposed to be like in 2400 somewhere in that era?
Yeah, I would say no.
Not like now. I want a starship like that now.
Basics.
So let's just make it happen. Just call up NASA and say, hey, I want my Galaxy class ship. So if you could have that done by Tuesday, Monday would be my preference.
With all
I
those
want someone to
decks.
teleport me somewhere.
With all
That'd be
those
great.
decks on a Galaxy class starship and all the crew complement
Yeah.
capability.
Different colored shirts, you know.
There you go.
Have you guys ever heard of SF Debris?
I think so. Isn't that a YouTuber?
No. He used to be on YouTube. He's not anymore. He has his own website now, and he talks a lot. He talks extensively about the Borg and everything. It's kind of interesting because he breaks it down, like you were saying, how apparently Voyager can go up against a tactical cube, which a tactical cube is when the Borg want to fight, when they think there's a serious threat. It's not the regular Borg cube that they sent that almost killed everybody in the Federation. The tactical cube is when they're serious, and apparently Voyager can take it out with one photon torpedo if they're wanting to. But yeah, he does a lot of breakdowns like that too. There was something I think is interesting. They never went through with it, but there was a plot that they had been starting in Voyager where the Q was actually scared of the Borg, and the entire plot was supposed to be that they had introduced humanity to the Borg as a chess piece in a game to ultimately defeat the Borg. And it was a plot line that was dropped, but it was kind of interesting, and you can see vestiges of it in Voyager. So if you find that interesting, that's something to look at. You guys look bored as hell, but that's okay, because I'm...
No, excuse my ignorance. Borg, is that the cyborgs?
Yeah, it's the cyborg.
The resistance is futile, a simulator die or some shit. I don't remember.
They
Saved, got that like the term.
Yeah, kind of Terminator.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
They're the heroes from Big Bad Beetleborg.
Yeah, there you go.
No, the way you explained it, honestly, it kind of gets me interested in it because I love
Yeah.
like the background and text space of it. To be honest, that's what fascinates me about anything, any kind of lore, any kind of nerdy comic book or whatever. Where you're explaining it, it makes me kind of want to go back and like when I grew up watching Star Trek Next Generation because my father. So, but that was kind of like our bonding thing. So I know a lot about Picard, and was it Riker's was the guy with the beard, or shaved him once and grew it out again.
Yeah.
Is that the red shirt?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, so I mean, I love this stuff. It's just I got a lot of interest in Deep Space Nine. Was that right after Star Trek or Next Generation? Was it Deep Space Nine or Voyager?
It was. It was right after the Next Generation. What did you not like about Deep Space? How far did you get into Deep Space Nine before you lost interest?
I'll be honest, I was a little younger.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy Deep Space Nine when I was very little as well, because you would look at the Next Generation and it's like there's a weird alien, or there's this weird diplomatic thing, or Picard has to look angry at somebody and then they'll go away. And then you get Deep Space Nine and it's like all this politics, and for a young child that doesn't understand it, that might be harder for them to get into. Because as I was older, I got into Deep Space Nine and it's like almost my favorite, almost, because of all the politics and the way that they did it well. And Voyager is just like, I don't know how to say this in a non-offensive way, it's kind of like the dumb one, because stuff is always happening action-wise. And
So it's the Star Wars of the Star Trek universe.
Hey,
Yeah, kinda.
That blasphemy.
yeah, open the blast doors, open the blast doors.
Well, for me, like Deep Space Nine, the only reason why I watched it, I just wanted the show to be about Quark and the other
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, I love that. Those are my favorite part.
My
My favorite part of that Deep Space Nine was the Ferengis. The space... Well, never mind. There's an offensive word for what people call them. But the nice one is space trolls.
Now I'm kind of curious about what the offensive of trolls. Is.
Greedy. Greedy. So that should tell you what people call them.
Capitalists? I mean, I don't. I did like
A stereotypical race
like,
of people that are greedy.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm still not there, but that's okay. We can continue. I did like what they did with the Ferengi, but what's weird though is one of the Ferengi in the Next Generation was played by the same person who played Quark. So it's very jarring. If you go back through the Next Generation, you'll probably notice it the first time you see the Ferengi. It's like the second Ferengi is the guy who plays Quark.
Armin Shimmerman? I wasn't aware of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
very...
I wasn't aware of it until another critic said it too, and then I went back and listened. I was like, wow, yeah, that's jarring to say the least.
That's pretty... I thought Armin Shimmerman was very, very good at acting. He was able to convey a lot of emotions through like a prosthetics and just the rubber mask in general, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was awesome.
He couldn't hear anything.
He was really good. He was a great actor. I really liked what they did with the Ferengi. Like you said, I like that they fleshed them out. They weren't just some stereotypical hat that Star Trek likes to do. I'm glad that they actually fleshed them out. I mean, he did excellent. I'm just saying, he played Ferengi twice, once in the Next Generation, and then they brought him back in Deep Space Nine. But if you haven't watched the Next Generation in a while, you wouldn't notice it. But Star Trek's actually known for that. They reuse actors a lot.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've noticed that.
I was gonna say, like, one of the old Star Trek movies I wanted to say is the first one that they did. I noticed was Michael Dorn played one of the Klingons in that.
That's common. Like the person that played Tuvok has been in an insane amount of things, including spin-off, like side projects, directing his own Star Trek movies and everything.
And the funny thing about Michael Dorn, he played a character that was either like General or Colonel. He had some kind of name in front of him. Worf. It was the same.
General Worf. It was General Worf.
I may not notice that, but I didn't go out of my way to watch those. Like honestly, I really only watched a couple of the movies in those Generations and First Contact. Generations was okay. I love First Contact though.
Stay away from.
But that's because I like the Borg episodes. So.
What's the name of the really bad one of those Next Generation movies?
It was either
Insurrection.
Insurrection or the last one. I forgot.
Insurrection, I found had the worst plot.
I don't know. I didn't see either of them.
Have you ever seen Nemesis? Oh.
Yeah, I found that plot not the greatest either, but I liked it better than the plot of Insurrection.
a lot of old schoolers don't like First Contact because of what they did to the Borg. But an interesting thing about First Contact, too, because I recently did a battle breakdown of it, is that they wanted to have a fleet combat. So there was supposed to be multiple Borg cubes or Borg. It didn't have to be cubes. It could have been spheres and things as well. But yeah, they were going to have a fleet combat, but due to financial limitations, they went with just one Borg cube.
Huh.
Totally random. But my cousin, I told you guys about him before, he's super into Star Trek and Doctor Who. His bird learned how to do the phaser sound effect from Star Trek. And he would just, all the time, he would do specifically the spaceship phaser sound effect. And it sounded exactly like that.
Dude, want to talk about going viral? We need to record that. We're going to all be rich.
He's dead.
Right.
He's dead now. He was like 25 when he died. The bird was my age when he...
I was going to...
Like
I'm
at
glad
the time.
you clarified that. I was going to be like, your cousin is there? Or the...
Well, he's my mom's cousin anyways, so he's older than me anyways.
Well, but I mean, what you said is he's dead now, so I was like, whoa, that's...
He was 25. That's freaking old for a cockatoo.
Yes, but you didn't say that it was the cockatoo. You said
I know.
He's dead now. So I was like, whoa, that's...
I know. Player
So
select.
speaking of weird stuff, I like to think about the whole. I didn't watch Enterprise, but I would like to think that whole series is about Sam going to his next leap.
I've thought of it that way before too. That's what makes me like TNG recuts. TNG recuts are the best. You ever watch those by General Grin?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of him.
His stuff keeps deleted. Well, his stuff keeps getting deleted because he's using copyrighted material from whoever it is that owns it. CBS, I guess.
CBS, the most evil corporation on planet Earth.
I don't know. Have you seen EA? But anyways.
Copyright strike is saying it.
No, I know. I agree with you.
EA gets all of its information from CBS. Before they do anything, they go to CBS and say, "Hey, do you think this is okay?" Yeah, Battlefront 2, all CBS's idea. That's exactly.
Right, you opened up the box.
Next you're gonna say that it's Hitler. Hello? Oh, my microphone is messing up. Next you're gonna say it was Hitler.
No, CBS is run by Hitler, who gives information to EA.
So that's why Wolfenstein games keep getting made. They're trying to soften Hitler.
Wait. I thought Hitler ran ABC because, ABC Time Warner, put Hitler as Man of the Year. Come on. Time Magazine.
Time Magazine Man of the Year.
Is it? I'm sorry, was that joke right here?
By the way, there's stuff in the chat for you guys, just to let you know.
Oh, yeah.
But General Grin, it's hard to find the entire thing, but he did an entire, hundreds of episodes of TNG Recut where he takes Star Trek and he takes lines that Patrick Stewart has said and things like American Dad and superimposes it, and things like from other series like The Gargoyles, Jonathan Frakes' character, and he makes his own episodes, and sometimes they're really stupid, but sometimes they're brilliant. Like my favorite is I've had it with these motherfucking snakes, these motherfucking starship, and he got Riker to say that by just messing with audio. And then there's also an episode where they clone Riker 800 times. So it's just a ship of Rikers attacking, was it Setlik 3 or something? Yeah, Setlik 3, I believe that's what it was. And it's just Rikers, photoshopped his head badly onto other people's bodies, phasering all the inhabitants.
What is this guy's name again?
General Grin. But it's, a lot of it's bad, but some of it's really good. His stuff just keeps getting deleted, so it's really hard. He had to go by Admiral Grin, Emperor Grin. His picture is either going to be Picard's head on Shinzon's body, Andorian Picard, Klingon Picard, Romulan Picard. They're beautiful and gorgeous photoshops.
Well, I mean, what he can do, CBS generally, if you challenge them, what they'll do is they're just the most awesome people. They'll say, you know what? We'll let you keep it up, even though you did 6 to 8 hours of work, and this is clearly under fair use. We'll let you keep it up, and we'll just take all the money because we're awesome.
Why not?
And I tell you what, you got this entire series called the Dominion War, and over hundreds and hundreds of dollars is going to go to us. But the people will see your hard work.
Yeah.
Not bitter or anything about anything that they've ever done.
And he wasn't making any money or anything. He didn't have ads on his stuff. It was just simply making stuff for fun.
Well, I mean, but seriously, if he pushes back, generally they'll let it stay up and just say, hey, we'll take all the money off of your hard work. So, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those things. I never quite understood policy about that, because it's like, we're going to take all that money, even though it's clearly under fair use. Well, if it's clearly under fair use, you have no right to my content, and like, even as like something small as like a sound clip that you have on for 30 seconds, even though you may have a 2-hour video, they can copyright the whole video for that 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
not allowed to do that, but people do that and claim it. So that way the claim goes through.
Like, when you're looking at me, who's only got like 20 subscribers on my YouTube channel, they don't really care what I have to say. Well, not that I can monetize anyway, with their new policies, but still.
Here's the interesting thing, though. So, in theory, stuff may or may not fall under fair use, but here's how it happens. So you make something, you think it's clearly under fair use, you put it up on YouTube, they copyright it, you then challenge it, and they say it's legit. At that point, you have a choice. You can challenge it and send it to YouTube and see what YouTube thinks. If YouTube sides with CBS, your channel gets hit and a lot of stuff gets taken away. And in theory, they could take you to court. And even though you're right, since you don't have deep pockets, you're ultimately going to be wrong. That's the problem with the entire system. It's all automated. YouTube doesn't take a look at it until you challenge it, and it's a roll of the dice if you send it, and you open yourself up to get sued for over $130,000, which unfortunately I don't have that in the bank ready to give to CBS if I lose.
Oh, you don't? I thought everybody had that laying around.
All the YouTube money, right? Because anyone who's on YouTube makes all that YouTube cheese. But yeah,
of course.
It's ridiculous. And since it's done in bad faith, I can understand when people don't do things in good faith. With like, I don't know if you guys have heard of him, but his name's Jim Sterling. And,
yes. What the Jimquisition.
Yeah, oh, him, yeah.
And what he'll do, and I love it, is if he knows he's going to get hit with a content ID, he'll put 2 different companies' works up, so both of them content ID, so nobody gets the money. If 2 people content ID a video, nobody gets the money.
Okay.
I think that's excellent.
That is
wow. Smart. That is very smart. And I know, like, and he's never monetized a single video. He is 100% supported by his viewers through Patreon, from my understanding on that. Him and there's another YouTuber, I can't think of his name, but does the same thing. I think it's that Sticks Hexenhammer dude. I think he does the same thing.
Yeah, he does a lot of politics.
Yeah, but I mean, very different kind of stuff. Yeah. But he doesn't monetize, is what I was getting at.
Well, there was this group of people called that do Hugo and Jake that do a number of channels. Reloaded. Yes, and they were hit by a company because they were basically analyzing and making fun of a particular like religious movie, and the company that made the movie hit them with like 5 copyright claims at the same time, claiming it's like the entire movie's played in its entirety. And even YouTube emailed them and was like, you should take a look at this. They went to a lawyer, and the lawyer's like, oh man, I wish I could take this case. This is a winner. I will get you in contact with someone. They sued them, and they ended up having to raise money from fans to sue them, and they won. And unfortunately, the point of it is it's supposed to set a precedent for people getting hit by copyright claims, but in the end, all it did was make YouTube just change their algorithms, and that's it. Nothing else. When it was supposed to help prevent people from getting hit by this type of thing in the future. Maybe it helped. Maybe, I don't know.
I doubt it with how things, especially how they're going right now, and that goes into very, very different rabbit hole. Yeah, so for me, it's a rant I don't really want to get into. It's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But
yeah.
We just need a good, a good case to solve all of this.
Yeah, if only things were that simple.
Fair use is such a gray area. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, the H3, the he case, I think did really well in establishing it. But I mean, it's not like the silver bullet or anything, but they at least won that case, which I thought did well for precedent.
It did. It's just, but we need something that hits higher media standards, hits cable, hits a little bit farther than what it did, in order to set a higher precedent. Because the way it works, I mean, it's still a huge win. Don't get me wrong, but we still need something higher, something more devastating that put a huge, that puts YouTube more of a stakeholder in this at risk, and for anything to change.
Well, here's what we need to do. Linktheinformer, what you need to do is take your YouTube channel and do a fair use CBS on the board, and then challenge them and taunt them. Make them take you to court. You got this, buddy.
Yeah, okay, because I got that money. I mean, I know I could probably raise $100, okay? Because my internet claim to fame, I could probably get 100 to sue them.
You might want to register yourself as a business, as like an LLC first, so then that way you personally will be responsible.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to talk about things that I have done and related to that right now, but I'll tell you things I've done off of the cast, because I have prepared for certain eventualities.
I'm telling you, I got $10 in, so it'll be $110. You got this, man.
Yes, time to go buy some lunch food and eat food for a change during the day. Is starving artist. I'm joking.
I'll add 50 cents here.
Oh, dude, 50 cents. That won't even cover the transaction fee.
There you go.
Thank you.
There's your 50 cents.
And everybody can see it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Stream is buffering constantly. Oh, damn, I'm sorry to hear that, Dustin.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like when Dustin pops in on my streams too, he has some issues. I don't know what it is.
You could, by the way, just before I forget, sorry, just to say really quick, I haven't tried it yet, but Firefox claims to be like way more efficient now, so maybe Firefox. I'm gonna be giving it a try, but I haven't done it yet. Other Twitch users are having issues, and Firefox is beating Chrome to the punch about fixing some issues that are related to Twitch.
I use Firefox all the time, and I haven't had issues with Twitch, except when I'm streaming. But then that's a different issue. So
I'm gonna try that. Sorry, what were you saying, Laura?
I was just saying, is it like 1 cent per bit that you get? Is that how Twitch works?
Yeah.
It's.
I charge you like $50 for 10 bits or something like that.
Yeah.
You get a cent.
What is
but it's actually worse in other countries. The exchange rate in other countries, like Canada, it's pretty bad, but it's really bad in some other countries. So he gave me the equivalent of 50 cents US dollars. I have no idea how much Twitch is actually going to take, but to get the 50 cents, he had to pay like, what, $1.10 or something?
Well, it was the first time I bought bits, so it was 1,000 bits for $10.
Yeah, I mean, I would
so
think
that's
a good
up.
deal.
But otherwise, like right now, what it's at, like say if I wanted to buy 20. Actually, no, that's a sale, so I can do it right there. But like, if I were to buy 100 bits, it's $1.40.
right. I was being hyperbolic, but still.
I was just saying, Twitch has got to make some money, so it's like that's why it's like I don't really think it's that big of a deal,
No, I want to start it. Let's start a Twitch. We'll call it Twitch.com or something like that. And
Sure, nobody's ever heard of that.
That's what I'm saying.
I wish I had the money to do some video platform service.
I don't. I'd get like a migraine and headaches from that level of stress every day. Like, I remember joining one of those things that's like Twitter, and then I forgot about it right away. I forget what it's called. I think Kentantino's the one who told me about it. Maybe? I don't remember.
It was also Mines, which that's kind of a, that's
you
a
guys,
nightmare.
You guys don't understand. Both Minds and Gab are going to destroy Twitter and Facebook. They're already gone. I mean, they're basically shutting Twitter and Facebook down now. Don't
Damn.
You guys know that?
And Minds.
It's done.
And Minds.
Hashtag Twitter is over party.
Hashtag nerding it out.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do that every week now. Hashtag nerding it out. They'll be like,
Dustin's in my chat. Hey, Dustin.
Charlie, hey Wacko, welcome to the show. Even though I forgot I'm not supposed to talk to the stream like that. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like not get distracted. And also, though this is a relevant thing, I posted a link to LoreReloaded's channel there if anybody is interested in giving him a follow. He has some really fascinating videos on things such as Star Trek and
Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
Battlestar Galactica. I mean, see, that's my thing. I actually do other lore, but people are so surprised that I do other lore because everybody comes for the Trek stuff.
What got you into doing it? The whole lore and doing YouTube. What got you into it? What's your interest?
Well, I was able to, for one reason or another, start to go toward, well, because of my wonderful wife and everything, I was able to do the passion that I wanted to do. And I had been doing YouTube for a while, and I had actually done quite a few different YouTube channels. I had done a political channel, I had done a review channel. Steve there she is. She's awesome.
Hi.
But yeah, I had done a review channel, and so what I decided to do is I love doing reviews, I love doing gaming and things, but I wanted my own niche, my own different thing, right? And so instead of doing like a straight review, why don't I do the lore of it?
Mm-hmm.
It was my whole, it was kind of my twist. And I started doing that. Actually, my lore channel, the first lore I ever did was real life. I had, it's called Alternate History Hub, is where I got the idea from. I took inspiration from. And it was based on, I forget, a Civil War battle. But yeah, after that, I just started doing lore and things like that. And YouTube and being an entertainer has always been my passion. I got lucky enough that I can now do it and justify doing it. But yeah, so that would be the genesis of it.
What about the Super Nintendo?
Yeah, it was all based on the Super Nintendo, though, to be honest with you. So what happened?
Those games are bad.
Yeah.
Old Star Trek games are bad.
When I saw the Super Nintendo, I thought, man, I want to be a YouTuber, even though YouTube doesn't exist at this point, and I'm like 5 and don't know how to do any video editing.
I wanted to do that when I was 5. I wanted to play games and have people watch me. And then it turns out I'm doing it.
You did it. You lived the dream now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, buddy.
It went from people watching me at an arcade to online where it's like 6 people. Whoa!
This is the height of your life. It's never going to get better. Enjoy it. Sit back. Wow.
I'll start crying again. And sobbing into my Michelina's dinner. For the 50th time just today.
But it's okay because it's Canadian, right? So, I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. As long as it's Canadian, it's okay.
It's American, so it can suck a dick.
Well, that's just offensive.
Chirp, chirp.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It can suck a vagina.
Anyway, how about EA?
What about EA?
Do you guys love your new favorite Star Wars game that's out?
Oh, I'm loving the idea that I have to spend $4,000 to unlock everything. Or 4,000 hours. I'm not sure which.
They've changed it.
It's actually 40,000 hours.
Is it 40,000? Jesus.
It's 40. It's like 40, almost 40,000 hours. So like what, Darth Vader or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And
so, I mean, what do you guys think about this? It's hitting news. I think I sent you guys a link of Disney is having weekly meetings with these guys. I sent you guys a link about the whole interview that I think VentureBeat. I forget who did it by VentureBeat. They're going in how they had a discussion with one of Disney's people that's a lead over the game side of the Disney studios, I guess, or something like that. And he went there and actually sat out and talked to somebody at VentureBeat, and they're saying that they had weekly meetings with them, and they kind of go in a little more detail. I'm not going to get into that, but they kind of avoided the whole question. It was actually posted today, yesterday. I posted this article yesterday on Sunday, and the interviewer was kind of just being nice, and but they weren't asking detailed questions about the whole drama that's going around it. Not like the dude's gonna say, yeah, we did this, yeah, we did this on purpose, yeah, we want your money. It's they're kind of just walking around the things and saying, oh yeah, we did this for the creation of the story. They're going into you're devoted to opening the story up and just creating more avenues, I guess, for Star Wars. But the funny thing is, I don't understand. They were tiptoeing and they were just praising their teams of what they did. But the thing is, we had these weekly meetings. There had been talk about those loot crates. There had been talk about who we want you to do this to gain revenue. It doesn't make sense. EA was just did this by himself. I think Disney's at fault as well. I know what you guys think, because if they're having weekly meetings with these guys, I mean, those are talks. I mean, they had to have these talks.
Well, the reason why I would think Disney's really kind of up in arms about it, because like when you really think about it, EA lose over on this. Disney has a $1 billion film franchise that has a movie that's going to be coming out in a couple weeks. They have a lot to lose from all this shit.
Yeah, it's a brand.
It is a brand. I mean, they paid Lucas like $2-3 billion for the licensing rights. I know it was the train of thought gone, but yeah, there's a lot there. So yeah, they got to do a lot to make sure that this game actually succeeds, because right now, and from my understanding, EA has said, okay, we'll go ahead and reduce the prices on these things
75.
temporarily.
75%.
Temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily. We'll see what happens because it was last week they made that. I think Link shared the link of what EA made an apology. Okay, an apology.
Right.
Okay.
But
it was not their intent to do this. Okay.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say though is like, yeah, it's temporarily, so they're gonna have it this way, so that way they can get the big old sales for Christmas, and then come January, price is gonna go back to where it was at. Yeah, because now they already got you locked and loaded, and it's because right now they're doing this whole microtransaction thing as if it was a free game.
Don't forget loot crates, man.
Yeah, and the loot boxes too. But yeah, it's but yeah, it's basically as if it's a free game. Because if it was a free game, whatever, because it's not that big of a deal then. But it's not. They're setting a precedent that it's going to be a $80 game now, whereas normally it's $60. But actually, I think I'm wrong about that. I heard something about that. That might be the 75, 80. I think the 80 was like the special edition or something like that, and gives you nothing extra. I think it gives you a fancier box or something like that, but nobody cares about boxes anymore.
Here in Canada, the games have been $80 for a new release for a while now. You should see how much Destiny and some of the others cost for these special editions and stuff. So you guys are just going to start getting used to that price, which I don't know if that would further affect our price to go from $80 to higher than that.
Oh, it totally would. It would totally affect it.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, the thing is that while it's fun to bash on EA, they're just the ones that people got tired with, right?
I'll agree with that.
It's been happening forever. I was in fact taking a look at it. I mean, Shadow of War, Call of Duty World War II, Star Trek Online, which was years ago. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember the Evolve debacle where they were like, you have to give $100 for them to even start making money on it, or some stupid stuff like that. So I mean, while it's fun to bash EA, everybody's been doing it. People just got mad at EA. They finally had enough. It's like you said, though. They're going to let all of the stuff, all of the whatever kerfluffle go down, and then they'll just bring it right back. And it's interesting because these companies do stuff like this all the time, though. And when they get caught, they're like, "Oh, we're with you. This was a bad idea. It was something we're testing, and we're just going to take it down."
Yeah. Oops, our bad.
Yeah.
And that's how they failed with their Reddit post, was that's what they should have had, and instead it was just the worst PR nightmare ever for a video game company.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I think you guys were talking about the CSGO. They're really bad at it. The whole gambling. Well, okay, the whole side of gambling almost. We'll go inside, I guess. The whole loot crate system. Because CSGO has it, they do a lot more than everybody else. Overwatch is guilty of as well. But I guess the whole thing is it's not of what you can't use it in the real world, which is their reasoning why it's not gambling. EA just did it a little worse than everybody else, and I'm not bashing EA just because what we're saying. It's just the whole thing with what EA did was a little more extravagant than what the others have done. It's just the straw that broke the camel's back. Where you had to put it should have been the way they had it set up. It should have been, I think Baron said this, it should have been like free to play game. I'm not sure if you said it or not. I apologize. I remember someone saying it's free to play.
Okay.
So it's really based on the way they have it set up. It's a free to play game. They should be paying maybe $10 for this, and then if they grind like the amount of hours you to unlock these heroes. I hear it's a great game. I kind of almost wanted to get it because I hear it's a really good game, because the things I want to help the developers work for this company. They wanted to make the best game that they can. So if we don't pay the price, for the game, then these developers won't have to say, okay, well, it's your fault. You didn't make a good game. They'll, either most of the developers might be on contracts with these smaller studios. So I mean, it's either we don't pay for a game, and it's actually a really good game, but we're letting these developers down to be able to have the creative freedom in the Star Wars world. So it's a catch-22 sometimes. You can bash the company. I'm just taking it from another point of view. Yeah, these developers are doing it, and if we don't pay for the game, yes, they'll stop making these games. But you'll see a lot of layoffs going off because, like Baron said, Disney got a lot of money from letting EA use their license. So
Right.
if EA doesn't gain their money back, you'll see more studios other than Visceral Studios shutting down. And I'm kind of thinking that what happened with that is that they weren't making the money. They shut it down, and I don't know what they're going to do with Amy, for the lead over the I forget her last name, Amy or something. And I don't know what they're going to do with her because she's kind of out and about. I don't know if she has a contract with them or not, but she was supposed to lead in that Star Wars game that got canceled. Not canceled, but suspended pretty much right now. So, I mean, it's a catch-22 if you want to pay for these games or not. You just remember, these are actually, it could be a really good game, but it's all politics.
The thing that I personally find very, very frustrating about this type of situation is that it's the publisher, a lot of these times, that's making these decisions. It's not the developers choosing to make these decisions. So a developer,
Right.
they may have a particular vision, and their vision needs to be compromised, which, to be perfectly fair, it's understandable because in the end, you need to make money, right? You need to be able to have a return on investment. But when it gets to the point where in this case, the publisher is interfering so greatly that it ends up resulting in studios being shut down, that pisses me off. Because it's these people that are putting their heart and soul into something that they are proud of. And then certain decisions come along that come and mess things up that aren't even theirs. They have no control over it. They have nothing. And I'm working in the video games industry now. I'm like really small in the totem pole, but I can see the side of these things. I can see where the developer is trying really hard and the publisher could be deciding to do something, questionable. Right? At least in my case, it's no big deal. But for a company like that needs to pay so much money for marketing and they need to do shady tactics and stuff, frustrating. And you can look at movies like Batman versus Superman and I think Batman versus Superman, I believe Star Trek Beyond, not 100% sure, Suicide Squad, and the DC movie where it was I forget who it is. Like it wasn't the directors choosing to make these types of changes to the film, but it was the what's it called? Studio? I guess it's a studio.
Yeah, I guess it would be this case, kind of like, it goes different tangent, but yeah, it's basically the studios that kind of making these decisions. It's like, for example, with what's problem with the DC universe is they're trying to do what Marvel did, but they want it to happen now. They're not taking the time to build the universe, So that's why I haven't seen it yet, and I do want to see it. And just because I love DC better than Marvel, so it pains me that their movies suck. I mean, we haven't had a really good DC movie since the Dark Knight trilogy, and even that ended on a shitty note. But
you want to hear something interesting? Not to interrupt you. But
no, go ahead. I think my train derailed anyway, so you're fine.
I do want to circle back about how if you don't buy it, you're going to hurt other developers. But just to go on that piece, a lot of people are on the train about how DC sucks and it's doing horrible and it's just bombing. But the interesting thing is that if you look at the box office receipts of the movies, a lot of the movies DC puts out there are doing better than Marvel comparable movies. So it's kind of interesting. The Anti-Trekker, who was on the quote-unquote podcast, I just hang out, but yeah, the podcast that I do, he did a video breaking it down by box office receipts, and you'd be really surprised the movies that the DC movies beat out. Now, what I think is that's sad because it shows how awesome they could do if they did it right. I agree they're not doing it right, like you said, but it's interesting because the movies, from a sales point of view, beat a lot of the Marvel movies when it comes to the box office receipts. Just kind of interesting if you actually take a look at it.
Didn't they spend more money though in general? Producing?
Yeah, that's the big problem right there. They're not even
and more money on
barely
marketing.
Breaking even on a lot of these movies. That's the biggest problem. The exception being Wonder Woman.
Sure.
So far.
But they're still beating a lot of Marvel movies. So if they had done it right, maybe they'd actually make money and then just be whomping.
I agree.
Like it's going out of style.
Well, from what I heard, the Justice League movie only did about 92 million its opening weekend, whereas Thor Ragnarok did 128 million, something like that, in its opening weekend. Which I did see that one, and I did like it. But it's more comedy than anything else.
Right.
So. I mean, if you want to go see a good Marvel comedy, that's a good one to go see.
Yeah, if you want to see something like Guardians of the Galaxy comedy, it's like a similar kind of comedy.
Yeah.
So, Lore, you're saying that with the whole Marvel, they didn't make as much money, or you're saying that they did, or do you have figures or anything like that? I know you say.
I mean, I could give you. It's someone who does something similar. I can give a video, or I can look up. I didn't plan on having that right now. But if you went and looked up the Marvel movies, and then you went and looked up the DC movies, and you took box office receipts of how much money they made, you'd be surprised at what level the DC is in that chain. How many Marvel movies made less than the DC movies themselves?
Okay, so without looking up all that info, let's just go ahead and go with the assumption that it's Marvel that's been going on a downward trend for a while. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm trying to say,
or it's just that DC has been bringing in the audience.
The DC movies it's not the end of the world for DC that they do make money on it, and that the DC brand is very popular. It even beats out some Marvel, not all, some Marvel movies. And it's just a shame, because if they'd done it right, they'd be top dog right now. But every time they put out a movie, generally it's going to be higher than some of the Marvel movies themselves. I was trying to think of one of the examples he used. I know that there's a couple of them that actually beat out Captain America and some of the Iron Man movies, which is interesting because Captain America's really good. I'm not even talking about Wonder Woman. I'm talking about like Suicide Squad.
That would be Marvel's The Avenger. Oh, sorry, you're saying DC that beat out Iron Man or Captain America?
I mean, one of their movies did.
I'm looking at Marvel.
But if you look, I think he even pointed out Suicide Squad beat out a couple of movies you wouldn't have expected it to. Now that doesn't mean it didn't lose some money.
Movie. Aside from, I was trying to think of what the big movies were for DC, because from my understanding, Suicide Squad didn't do all that well. Batman vs Superman is obviously the best one in the series, but sarcasm emphasized. But because I'm not sure which one actually did do all that well. Because I didn't actually get around to watching Man of Steel, but I've heard that there's a lot of complaints about that movie as well. So,
right. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Lore. Go ahead, the guest.
So I'm just taking a look at his video, and again, this isn't. I haven't re-listened to it or anything, but if you look at Batman versus Superman, as you said, it's the big one, so we would expect, but it did better than Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor Ragnarok, Winter Soldier. I'm sorry, not Winter Soldier. What is the one?
Civil War.
Not Harry Potter. I can't see.
Oh wait. Harry Potter?
Not Harry.
No, it's not. Harry Potter.
Doctor Strange.
Magic. Doctor Strange.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you look at, and that's not to say that they didn't lose money on the endeavor or people didn't hate it. I'm just saying when you compare them side by side, DC doesn't do as horrible as it seems like it does.
So what you're saying is possibly that DC's doing a better open or theatrical as far as ticket sales are concerned. However, reviews, basically we're talking about like 30% on Rotten Tomatoes kind of reviews.
Exactly. So for instance, here's something that I found interesting. About matching relative, Suicide Squad did as well as Guardians of the Galaxy, which I would not expect it to be.
Okay. Wow.
Or that might be...
and that might be because, like, for example, like, I didn't know what the Guardians of the Galaxy was until that movie came out, so I'm going to assume there's probably a lot of people that were just like that as well. They didn't know who that was. And I think in Suicide Squad at least had some familiar characters, the Joker and Harley Quinn. Say how you feel about how they did in the movie, but that's not what we're referring to. But then again, we know that the majority of them are Batman. No, they're not. I think there was more Batman villains in there than there was any other from any other hero.
I think so.
I might be wrong on the comparison I just said. All I'm saying is if you're interested, people should go and take a look at box office and just look at numbers and see where it stacks up, because it's not as crazy as you think it is. It's just interesting.
He's right, because I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like to give you an idea.
Go ahead.
To give you an idea, like DC's top grossing movie by theater is The Dark Knight. Right, and that made $533 million, and then by comparison, for Marvel, they have Marvel's The Avengers, which made $623 gross, and Avengers: Age of Ultron, which made $459,000 gross. So that's quite a difference. And
here's the thing. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take the Dark Knight series out of the equation, though? Because especially with the Dark Knight, that one was kind of a freak thing, because it's like Heath Ledger died, so it's like, oh, we got to see why he was such a great Joker.
Yeah, and
Especially
Wonder Woman did decent.
The rumor was at the time was because he played the Joker is why he committed suicide.
Yeah, it's pretty good list. Like, you wouldn't be surprised. So it goes Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Wonder Woman, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, Batman, Batman Begins, Superman Returns. So as you can see, a lot of it is Batman. And Justice League is sitting down there number 12. With the 93,000 box office opening, which is pretty disappointing when you can look at most of the Marvel gross openings, theater opening, and a lot of them made considerably more money. Like the first Iron Man made more money, Guardians of the Galaxy, just the majority of them. But that doesn't mean that they're automatically, more of a money maker. It's just what Lore had said, which is, the way that they're handling it.
Right.
So,
yes.
So if they were to do some things more correctly, they would probably make more money than Marvel, at least consistently, in my opinion.
Well, it's like I think it was Married Gamer said, or maybe it was someone else, but they just needed to take the time and do it slowly. They needed to walk it. Like, I remember Marvel was doing this when I was a teenager, which was unfortunately a long time ago. And I was looking at Hulk, and I was like, well, that's stupid. I don't want to watch that at all. But they slowly built it up, and then it got to the Avengers, and I went back, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch Hulk. I'm going to watch
Oh, you talking about the one where Edward Norton was Bruce Banner?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I remember them starting it all the way back there, and that's what DC needed to do. And just one quick thing that I found funny, because I started looking it up as well. The 1989 Batman did better, apparently, than Batman versus Superman.
Well, that was a good movie.
It was.
I think it's funny.
Well, what kind of was
You
sounds
wanna
like,
get
it sounds
crazy?
like, just listening to you guys say, kind of go back with who made money, whatever. What it sounds like what DC problem is, just gathering my thoughts here, is that DC is overextending themselves with the budget, with their budget of what they're making to what they're thinking they'll make. I think it's part of the huge issue that they're running into, because from my understanding, they're just even just breaking even with some of these movies, though, and that's part of the issue I think they're running into. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they're doing good, but from other sources I've been reading about too, they're barely breaking even on these movies, and that's part of the issue that they're running against. Now, they're not bad movies. Not all of them are great, of course. As we know, the past few movies haven't been that great, but these decent movies, they're not making what they're expecting to make. Is I think some of the issues that they're running into as well.
It's Warner Bros.
Getting these news lines.
You'd expect Warner Bros. to be.
Not that stories are great, but I mean, still.
Well, right. I mean, even like the Green Lantern movie, the one where Ryan Reynolds was playing as Hal Jordan, was supposed to be part of the universe, but that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Even though I watched it, and it's like my only problem was parallax, but that's a. But honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. But apparently, there was other complaints. Like the whole CG suit thing is like, I think that's ridiculous. I didn't really notice it when I was watching the movie though. So I don't know. I think there was more people who. Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. I think it was ridiculous that they did a CG suit, but yeah, whatever.
Just one of those movies to go, hey, let's go have fun, not take it serious. Just a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it though. And I think that's kind of one of the quotes I heard about this Justice League movie is that the only thing that was wrong with it is that the criticisms came before they saw the movie. And so I think they were already ready to say that this movie sucks, because the last few DC movies have sucked. I haven't seen it, so I can't make a decision, and this is not a movie I was planning on watching in theater, because I didn't expect it to be very good.
Right. Well, and I mean, that's generally the way it is with all types of media anyway, right? It's all mob mentality. I linked it down there, and I think it'd be interesting. You guys should take a look at it if you ever get curious. But some of the things he does too is compare the movies against each other. Like Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy, as I was saying, those two are similar. They use similar music. They have a similar vibe to them when you take a look at it. But because Suicide Squad is hated because it does it, whereas Guardian of the Galaxy is loved because it does it. And I think some of that is kind of a mob mentality of just not liking it because other people don't like it. Like, I think that's with Battlefront 2 as well. I'm not the hugest fan, and I mean, what they're getting is well deserved, but people are hating it just to hate it, because that's what you do, because you hate it. And I mean, you can tell that when you look at reviews as well. Like, take a look at Justice League reviews from the fans. The fans apparently love it on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I think so. I'll go take a look. But I mean, if you look, fans can like it. But a lot of people on the internet don't like it, and I think mob mentality is a big part of our culture now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'd be interested if you want to take a look at it.
I'm looking it up right now, so I can get you the fresh or rotten score.
Yeah, but if anybody,
Yeah, with the whole
sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
yeah, with the whole mob mentality, yeah, I can see that if it's not in, no one's gonna see it. If no one's talking about it, no one's gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. They got to market it. They did market it fairly well. I mean, to me, the trailers look awesome. But it was
it's got an 82% for the people, 41 on the critics though.
really.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah,
I trust.
I didn't
I like
expect
to
it
look
that
at the Rotten Tomatoes a lot.
Here, I'll post the link in chat so
Because it
anyone
was
else can see it.
like somebody, I don't know who complained on. I've heard some podcasts, can't remember. Someone complained that the Superman versus Batman. One of the worst things about it, the fighting sequence was way too long. Right? They overdid that scene. I can't remember which scene it was. Was it whenever he's, I guess, in his iron suit and fighting Batman? I mean, Superman.
Oh yeah, the Superman suit.
Yeah, because that's what. Yeah, it's one of the critics, the people complained about was that scene, or some of the scene I think was way too long.
And I personally think that's a stupid reason to dislike a movie. If a critic said something like, "There's a particular scene that's too long," I would just do my best to try to disregard that the best that I can. And if I want to see it, then if there's a reason I want to see it, then I should see it, rather than, a critic said one bad thing about it, I'm not going to see it. Like, I saw Suicide Squad, even though there was a crazy amount of people and critics, panning it, and I was like, I just want to see it anyways. I like parts of it.
Did you see it in movie theaters, or did you see it in a Blu-ray, DVD?
No, I saw it in theaters. I liked some of it.
Gotcha. Well, the people rely on critics because it costs $20 for one person to go to a movie theater. I don't know how much.
That's crazy. Here, it's a lot cheaper than that.
Well, it's over exaggeration. Like, yeah, but it's like 14.
Full price is only what, $9 or $10, maybe 13 here.
Not here. Not here.
People spend more money on loot boxes.
Yeah. Well, maybe EA doesn't sound too bad after all,
Yeah, it's only $10 once a day.
Let's see if I can get the movie tickets I want.
The grind, gotta go the grind.
It's like the crane game at the movie theater. It's like you want the iPhone and you end up with like a pencil eraser. Ooh, yay! That was great.
Best day of my life.
Like, now I can erase things.
And I can go eat my Canadian mill.
That reminds me of Deadpool. Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2. Hey, did you guys see him doing the Bob Ross thing?
Who?
Deadpool?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Great.
It's just a stupid, but it was
Bob
fun.
Ross thing. What are you talking about?
It's a what's the word for that type of ad? Viral. It's a viral video.
Oh, I'll have to take a. He did a I think it was I saw the advertisement for was it male enlargement or something? They did an advertisement, but it was copying a male enlargement, but it was an ad for the Deadpool thing. It was excellent.
I did see for the first movie that they completely made the romantic film, and they released it on Valentine's Day, and then they did that bit right at the beginning of the movie where it's like, if only there was more movies like this.
Yeah.
Isn't supposedly the only
the first movie my wife and I actually went to go see was the Deadpool movie.
Oh, romantic. You are my angel.
She knew what she was getting into, like a tricker. So
triggered.
So Deadpool did a sex pill spoof on the Blu-ray release.
I gotta see that.
did they?
They did.
I had no idea.
Here,
I don't go through the special features. Like I gotta check it out. I own it, so I gotta check it out now.
It's right there. Yeah, it is a sex pill spoof for the Blu-ray release.
Oh, for the Blu-ray release. Okay, that makes sense. You're still here? It's over.
Excuse me.
Whoa, this music just suddenly got really loud.
Excuse me. No, I know. I love the The fucking movie parody.
Movie parody? What?
At the end of... God, I just had
Are you talking about Ferris Bueller?
Ferris... God damn it, yeah, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, I thought you were talking
All
about
the
something
Ferris-
else.
No, the Ferris Bueller parody at the end there.
Oh yeah.
Goes on the bathroom. Yeah.
Did you guys know, here's some lore, that was supposed to be a TV show? A bunch of Ferris Bueller stuff?
Was there?
I don't recall the reason why it didn't happen, but it was supposed to become a TV show thing.
Oh.
In
Yeah.
the 80s?
Yeah, 80s. And for some reason it didn't occur.
Well, that was a lot of 80s. That I can see that being an 80s. I'm gonna talk up because people said it was a little
Late
low.
80s.
I could see that being an 80s
Oh, yeah, music.
show. The I don't know if you guys ever noticed this or not, but I did because I watched a lot of late night TV because I was a lonely fat kid.
I was a skinny
the
only kid.
80s. Well, there we go. See, 80s movies was basically like the day in the life of a person. It seemed like a lot of them were just something happens, no big arch like the Avengers or anything like that. It's just these zany, different types of events that happen in a day to a person. So I could actually see that.
And you can point it out very easily without even trying, like Saved by the Bell, Power Rangers, Baywatch, and the list just goes on. Family Matters, Cosby Show.
Right.
Make sure you're awake when you watch the Cosby Show. No.
Oh my god! Oh, speaking of the
We just
Cosby
went there.
Show. No. Oh man, there's an episode. I'll share it with you guys if you haven't seen it. Where so apparently in the Cosby Show, everybody was fighting at the beginning of the episode. I've never seen the full episode. I just saw the ending because it's horrible. And there's this huge. He has this barbecue. And everybody's hugging each other, and they're now, all cuddly and everything. And his wife says, "Well, it looks like everybody got together. It looks like everybody worked everything out." And he's like, "Yeah, it's my special sauce." And she's like, "No, it's not." He's like, "Yeah, I put my special sauce on it, and everybody just starts getting cuddly and stuff. And I keep it right next to the bed to give to you. It's horrible. It's absolutely." In retrospect, it did not age well. Not a good episode that aged well.
I would like to have seen the dad from Family Matters
Here's
to
the
say the
crazy
same
thing,
thing.
too, is he probably did that joke knowing full well what he's fucking doing at that time, too.
Yeah, there's no
I would not be surprised if he actually did do that. Holy shit.
This reminds me of his terrible Ghost Dad movie. That's so bad.
I just shared it right there. It's called Bill Cosby's Special Barbecue Sauce.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh
episode.
god.
Yep.
Or, yes.
In the chat so the audience can see it, too, if they want. I got it for you.
Sure.
I was a lonely.
I already did, so don't worry
Well,
about it.
welcome to the chat, people. Do you guys have any questions for us? We're just gonna rant, but say your questions and we'll try to answer.
Yeah.
And no offensive questions that will insult our sensibilities, like talking about dirty words.
What dirty words? Nobody fucking uses dirty fucking words.
Did you even watch my fucking promo where it's like, shit, I said fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck shit ass bitch.
Well, apparently, we don't like Americans. I'm sorry, those from the
I
United
don't hate Americans, I just think that your intelligence... Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop talking.
Oh, gosh.
I don't hate Americans. I just rely on their country to help me,
I'm not racist, I have an American friend.
making sure that
Thank
we
you,
don't
Lore.
go into
Thank
debt
you.
and stuff. We're based.
I have an American friend. He says it's okay to talk about Americans this way.
Friend. My friend's American, dude. My friend's American. I got the American card from my friend. He's American.
I'm Canadian Jesus. I died for your ability to say sorry.
Are they
Shut up and
questions?
go harvest that maple.
Shut up and take my sorry.
Gonna be the last before we get taken down by Twitch. Well,
Yeah.
Twitch
Yeah.
isn't YouTube.
Well,
YouTube
with-
would
with people
demonetize
bringing
us
up-
in a second after that.
Well, people
Speaking
bringing
of
up
which, there was somebody
We
who
have a
got
question.
oh,
Mary
yeah.
Kilbang.
TP Poker, I think that's how you say it. Yes, I do have a question. Marry one, bang one, kill what?
Oh god. It's one of those a marry one, kill one.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, Mary Kilbang.
Uh-huh.
Can it- which girl from Precious? Are we talking about the African American girl? The what is it? Gabori Sid? Whatever.
Probably the main character from that movie.
Okay.
I once had somebody steal chicken off my plate.
It's just hardcore in Canada, man. They don't take
That's
nothing
Canada.
there.
She said
like
thank you when
LA,
she ran
but
away,
worse.
though. She did say thank you when she ran away. I'm serious.
Say thank you.
She said she took a piece of my
that's a
chicken,
Canadian
ran away, and said
drive-by.
thank you.
It's funny because it's funny because it's a stereotype.
Here's some more stereotypes for you that are very simple. If you're a Canadian or you've been living in Canada for too long, you will hold the door for way too long for people. I've stood there for microphone? Hello, fuck off. For 5 minutes before. I know a guy that stood there for an hour and a half because he was too polite to stop holding the door and possibly have it slam on somebody's face. And I've also gotten into a you first, no you first, no you first, no you first, no you first argument. A bunch of times.
Wow.
These stereotypes.
I'd marry Caitlyn Jenner.
Why haven't you guys discovered meth? I mean, seriously, you guys are bored up there, apparently.
Called maple syrup.
Dude, I think they have. That's the problem. I'd marry Caitlyn Jenner. I'd kill Rosie O'Donnell, and I guess I'd bang the girl from Precious.
Ugh.
And that's going to be clipped and put on Twitch forever.
Dude, if that's the only thing that gets clipped, I'm lucky. You
I
get
know.
some of my other stuff.
It's like, hey, yeah, better be awake for when you watch Bill Cosby.
No, yeah, no. When I had my politics, that's why I'm not worried. I'll never be president. When I had my politics channel, I would do a character that was a red Southern redneck with his shirt off, ultra Christian character that would jump around and justify things. Dude, I hope that's all that ever gets clipped of me.
We should do that sometime. Not on this, but we should do that sometime. Because I can be a real dick. I've learned it from you, Dad. I learned it from watching you.
So you want us both to have our shirt off, jumping around, and one of us yelling, "I learned it from you"? Is what
But when did you become Canadian? That's like what we do. It's our mating dance.
I thought your mating dance involved maple syrup and waffles or some shit, and then while you eat your, I guess, bacon. I don't know. We call it ham. Something like that. I don't know.
It's called ham diving, and I'll
Wow,
thank you not to insult my religion.
What's it like to have to rely on another country for your defense? Do you enjoy that? Or...
That's funny because my cousin I mentioned earlier is in the army with the cockatoo.
with the dead cockatoo, the 25-year-old dead cockatoo.
Well, it was his mom's, but she's dead too.
Did they go together, or how'd that work out?
I don't know.
You don't know.
They both have blush.
Both of them have blush, you said.
His cockatoos look cute and they have blush. I don't like hearing my own voice. That's why I have an earphone in, so I don't hear myself talk.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thanks. I've been told I have a face for radio.
You do.
Thanks.
And you
Oh,
have very honest friends.
Don't forget Celine Dion. Celine Dion. And Justin Timberbeer. Justin Timberbeaver. He's, he's not even a Canadian anymore. They kicked him out.
Yeah, then we can't forget about Bryan Adams.
The floppy head. His head is like this, like in South Park. South Park's a documentary of a life in Canada. I've seen the Prince and Princess of Canada before. What funny story, the guy above me thought there was a Prince and Princess of Canada.
No, I didn't.
Didn't
What
you
the
think?
fuck are you talking?
No, you said like
what
King of
jokes
Canada?
about that?
King of Canada or something?
Don't you guys
No.
recognize the United... Aren't you guys a Commonwealth? You recognize the United Kingdoms.
Not since 1984.
I don't...
Wow, you guys did take George Orwell serious.
Yeah, 1984. That's I'm pretty sure it was 84. Could have been 82. I forget. But yeah, that's when the nothing with the Commonwealth now. We just, like them. That's all.
Just heavily rely on the United States for everything that you do, including stuff.
We get tea from England.
Just an
We get tea from England.
Except for tea. I did not know that. That's interesting to me. I thought you guys were still a part of the Commonwealth.
Most people think that, yeah. But I'm not even sure if Australia is. They might be.
Do they even have a Commonwealth anymore then? I guess.
Yeah, it's still considered Commonwealth countries. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The ones you're thinking, like Ireland. Well, not Ireland's messy, but
Gibraltar would be part of the Commonwealth, wouldn't it? Or is it directly owned?
I'm not sure because the way that they govern in Spain is weird. Why is this turning into politics? Let's save this for some other show.
I love politics.
My fiance's been to Gibraltar. Monkeys jump around there.
Whoa!
Neat.
There's a picture of a monkey looking at her, and she looks very nervous. And I'd be afraid of a monkey biting me too. You don't know these wild monkeys, where they've been, or what diseases they might have. So anyways, Brian Adams, yes. You're not the only person that feels the way, TP Poker.
Wikipedia's lying to me. It says you're still a member of the Commonwealth. I'm going to adjust that, because I'm sure they'll appreciate me just deleting that.
Just because
Well,
I
we
just
all
wanted
know
to...
that- Oh, I was going to say, we all know Wikipedia is 100% accurate on everything.
I know,
Because it's
right?
edited by people.
Canada Act
Popular vote.
1982. Well, wait, that was the Constitution.
Huh.
But that did remove all of their power over us. Even though it was basically, at that point, it was, I don't know what the word... You know when the word is, it doesn't mean anything, but it's like a formality or something, but it didn't really have any power. Canada has complete sovereignty. Canada is separate from her role as the British monarch or any of the Well, let me just see what the Commonwealth is.
So basically what you're saying is...
Okay, Canada is still
signed
considered...
a Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
And then came up with their own constitution?
Yeah.
So in other words, it likes stealing stuff from other countries?
Yes, just like the United States stole the Declaration of Independence from France.
Whatever. We did it first. We did it better.
Did it feel good? Did it feel good in your Canadian school when they told you that?
Well, I know I oversimplified it. I know. I know about Voltaire and
We
Public
stole
and all
it from we stole it from Greece, sir. We go way back. The
Yeah,
original.
probably. I know that.
Yeah, but the old democracies were failures.
The new ones aren't doing much better when you look at what's going on.
Well, better than the old ones, where it's
Oh, well,
you know,
I'll grant that.
you got one hand you have slaves and whatever. Anyways, any country that has slaves, all I will say is worse.
I feel like this is what people want us to talk about now.
On-
so we
on-
should definitely...
I'm
It was supposed
nerding
to be
it
about
out.
nerding it out. Yeah. Here we
I
go.
get nerdy at constitutions, and also apparently it's considered part of the Commonwealth, I guess. But I guess the 1982 removed any power they had, so it's just symbolic. That's the word I was looking for.
You still bow to the Queen, sir.
No,
Still bow to the Queen.
no.
You and apparently Pakistan too. Now we're learning things. And Kenya. Kenya does it.
Yeah, my grandparents would bow to the Queen, and have, because they're English, even though they live here.
Huh.
But not me. My kids probably won't even know what the Queen is.
I would hope so. Okay. Well, I mean, I would hope so. Not
He might not even be alive by then.
well. Okay. Well, the monarchy.
Oh,
is.
she's been around for a while, too.
Yeah, she doesn't die. That's one thing.
That's
one of her
it's
attributes.
true. I mean, the
It's
Queen
probably from-
Victoria
it's
lived
probably
forever
from all
too.
I don't know.
Yeah, but anyways, nerding it out.
Nobody else knows about that?
Nerding it out.
Yes,
Is there
okay.
any other topics we want to go over, or what do you guys think?
Let's get some Q&A going. Ask
Nobody's
some questions.
asking anything, so
Yeah, seriously. But not this bang, kill, or marry bullshit. Jesus.
it'll be different once we have more viewers watching.
Yeah, probably.
And
Once-
we do love the views that are watching right now.
I never pay attention to the number. Don't tell me. Never tell me the
that's
odds.
That's what every YouTuber says in their life. It's a lie then, and it's a lie now, sir.
I cannot see the viewers. I have removed my temptation because there is no way to see it right now.
The Queen is a Time Lord. She'll be the 14th Doctor then.
Oh,
That's actually pretty good.
that was pretty awesome. The
Thanks,
queen,
Kevin.
the queen is a time lord. I mean, you explain the fuck out of the platypus.
The queen being a Time Lord explains the platypus?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm full of non sequiturs. You hadn't noted.
Right.
Your voice was oddly delayed that time. Did you see that? It's like your mouth moved, and then it took like 3 seconds for the words to come out because of Discord being a butt.
I probably opened my mouth because I had no idea.
Discord sounds messing up just a little.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's
Too bad I don't have a better way of doing this.
Oh, I know. I just noticed there was kind of a delay when I saw it on there. Like my screen froze is what happened.
So this went from video game music to music that sounds like Nirvana, even though it's not. It's just the same guy.
I don't know. I'm not hearing anything.
If you guys like Nirvana, I should just link you this music because I like it.
Yeah,
That's why we should all just listen to it for the rest of the podcast.
It's so positive and upbeat.
Just like Nirvana.
Yeah, like that wonderful song I don't feel like saying the name of.
What, Rate Me?
Yes. I wonder if anybody's going to turn that into a commercial, like, rate me, and it's like...
Oh, God.
What I gotta deal with, Lore?
What is the word you're saying? Rate me?
I said rate.
Rate. Okay.
Yeah, like...
I was hearing it wrong. It's like, maybe they'll make that into a rate me.
Well, because that's not the name of the actual song.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't
like,
even know what I'm talking about.
it's called Rape Me. Is
Oh,
the
okay.
name of the song.
So I'm saying
So
somebody
I
could
said
make a...
right, that he did it as
Okay.
Yeah, it could be like a commercial for that thing that everybody hates. You know, when you rate a... What do you call it? Yelp, yeah. It could be like a commercial for Yelp, like, rate me. And somebody would just, you know, they would put the Nirvana song over it and then just ruin everything for them.
Yeah, I don't think they're stupid enough to put a word so closely matched to that other word. Given
Maybe not Yelp, but I'm sure somebody is stupid enough to do that. This song sounds a lot like Nirvana. It's
Yeah.
crazy. EA
Malta's
games.
still a part of the British Commonwealth, so I mean, we know that now.
I am common and
The more
wealthy.
you know.
I'm common and I'm wealthy. That's wonderful. I don't take the piss.
Oh man. So I guess
gross.
recap. So we think DC should be doing better on the movies, and then what's going on, and then EA we still have mixed emotions about it. I guess we don't like what they're doing, but yet we like.
Oh, you know, actually, now that you're bringing back, this is actually something I wanted to talk about. The loot boxes earlier. And then we just trailed off. As far as like that was going on, there was actually going to be. I think there's. I'm trying to think of the right word. I want to say class action lawsuit, but that might not be right. But they're trying to reclassify those things with loot boxes because it's gambling. It's basically gambling. Especially like say like there's loot boxes like say like, you know, Christmas coming up, you know, like they'll have the holiday skins or something like that. But you can't just buy the skin. Let's say you have all the other skins. You can't just go out and buy it. You have to buy all these loot boxes. So you could potentially spend $1,000 just trying to get this one skin. Potentially, I mean, you know, that would be real shitty luck, you know. And so that's why they're kind of considering it gambling at this point. So I was just wondering, what do you think? Oh, actually, we do have a question in here too.
Yep.
But let's get your opinion first, real quick.
Yeah, so I don't really have. I'm lost one.
Loot boxes?
Wait a
Okay,
second,
so
where
I
are
do
we? Who am I?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I do have something that I want to throw out there. There's a podcast I like to listen to. It's called Robot Congress. If you guys have ever heard of them. So it's a dude that's an actual attorney, and he has another that's kind of just you know,
Hey
comedy
guys,
relief.
it is
I don't know.
Thursday.
It doesn't put in it.
Yep.
But they had an episode
Done.
that aired, or it was on either the podcast on the iPod podcast app, whatever it's iTunes, I guess. They have an episode, it's, Robot Congress 52, Are Loot Boxes Gambling, featuring Mark Whipple. They go into great detail because Mark Whipple is an actual gaming attorney who's worked with remember Golf T, or what was that famous video game that's in like an not bars, I guess maybe bars, like Golden Tee, I think it's called.
I'm
Well,
not
he-
sure.
Yeah, but they're all across the bars and arcades and whatnot, and it's one of the highest, I think, ranking like video games, arcade games, or something like that. But it doesn't matter. But he's from that company, and he's an attorney. He goes into real good details of the legalities of loot gaming and what the gaming industry is doing with it. I definitely recommend that for a good listen. They go into really good detail on what they take into consideration what gambling is, because gambling is different from state to state, you know, and versus nationwide. Every nation has their own perception and I guess legality guidelines of what they consider gambling. So they go into good detail in that. And I definitely recommend you guys listen to them. It's a really good listen if you guys are interested in the legalities of what's considered gambling and not gambling. Because what we might think gambling is not gambling due to the fact of there's a few guidelines I have to go through. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there's like 3 things they talk about that it's considered gambling. So I definitely recommend that.
Where'd they fall on it?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell where'd they fall on it when it came to what is gambling and what's not? Did they talk about the
It's
EA
mixed.
thing or no?
I want to say it's like a 60%, like a guide or a scale. I want to say 60% of them feeling that it was gambling, but just because of certain things, there are still other loopholes that they can get through in the gaming industry. But what needs to be done, like we were talking earlier with the whole fair use, we were talking about like the whole gray area, pretty much, you know. If you have more money, bigger company, you're going down, period. So with the whole loot crate thing, yes, EA is getting a hitting spotlight with this. You know, Shadow Mordor, World War II, Evolve, even going to Counter-Strike, Overwatch, something, a big lawsuit or case. It would more likely be like Baron said, a class action lawsuit. That's what needs to be happening, or something to set a precedence of what they can and can't do. I personally don't want pay for gambling, possibly, you know, on a game. I don't think there's a place for it, to be honest. I would rather pay $80. Sorry, Link, you probably pay $110. But I would rather pay more money for everything for a full game versus paying separately DLC or expansion packs. That's just me.
Yeah, me too.
Unlocked, they did, or somebody things that another IGN podcast. I know that's kind of not many people like them, but they did bring a good point where the inflation of, I think it was this podcast, the inflation of what we have been doing. I think the PlayStation era or the 7th gen, was that the 7th gen PlayStation 64? Was that the 7th generation? Well, it don't matter. But where there was, it doesn't matter. There's a price hike that did occur between certain generations, and no one really didn't raise anything because the price of games got higher or more expensive.
It was during the PS3, Xbox 360 era. That was when the price hike, because I remember it was $50 for brand new games during the PS2. I had the PS2 during that time, and yeah, it was about $50 I was paying for brand new games. Even I thought that was too much, but you know.
I think that needs to happen again if we want to stop paying for these DLCs.
The 360 is considered the 7th generation.
Okay, so it's 7th generation.
Yeah. And
I
the
don't know
8th
that I
is...
accept the premise, to be honest with you. A lot of people are saying they want the price to rise, or that they're okay with it for the DLC and everything like that. So here's my thing. First off, EA told their shareholders that the fact that they stopped doing this microtransactions isn't going to negatively impact their bottom line. So you can sit there and tell me all about how you have to do this to stay afloat, and yet you're still making money hand over fist. Mm-hmm. But let's just assume that it would hit their bottom line. I think that if they tried to raise it and they saw the sales bottom out, they'd find a way to bring it back to 60. They wouldn't put as much into maybe their advertisements or into whatever else superfluous stuff. It's possible they'd take it out of the game, but I would be surprised if they did that. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't know that I accept that if we got rid of microtransactions that they'd have to go up to $100. I think that's just I think that's a proposition put out by game companies to continue microtransactions. I could be wrong, but I don't know that I accept that proposition.
It makes sense to me. It seems pretty alarmist.
Okay. I was going to say the only reason why microtransactions work is because people pay them. You know, if people weren't buying them, people wouldn't be doing that.
Right.
I mean, because, you know, I don't generally do all that. Like, every so often I might buy, like, an extra character or something like that if it's not going to cost me anything all that much, like $5 here and there or whatever. You know, and if they're adding to the game, then I will pay for that money. Like, I mean, and that's nothing new to the gaming industry. I mean, like, we call it DLC today, but before we called them expansions.
Expansion packs.
It's referred to as perceived value. That's what they look at. They try to determine what is considered They do. I'm trying to think how they do it. They do all these like internal like testing, and they do focus groups and study groups in order to determine what adds perceived value to the game and how much people are willing to pay for it. You know, I've been in one of those studies before where they give you a free video game and they're like, how much would you pay for an extra character? This much, this much, or this much, you know, and then they aggregate the numbers, and then I don't know what else they do with it. That's the basics that I know. They aggregate those numbers, and they somehow turn around and say, okay, it makes sense to charge $5 for a character as opposed to $50. But when it comes to things like expansion packs, expansion passes, and seasons, I'm not even sure exactly how they come up with those numbers. The only thing I know is some of these microtransactions, how they come up with the prices for those. You know, because you could see how much somebody would have to grind in order to get something in, I don't know, let's just say the new Assassin's Creed, and then somebody could spend X amount of dollars in order to get the same thing. So to some people, there's a perceived value there, and to others, there's nothing, you know? And there are some games where it's very tempting, where it has a greater perceived value for what you're spending. Like Darth Vader, that is obviously a way higher perceived value to anybody, just about, than something that you would feel, like what you were saying, superfluous, where it feels like it doesn't really add anything. Like, why would you pay for it? Like, I paid 48 cents once for a gun in a game, because it was 48 cents, and it's like, this will make the game easier. So for me, that perceived value. But if you were to play Assassin's Creed, it's like $7 for a weapon. Right? And I don't see the perceived value there.
I think it just really depends on the person, you know, and like some people are more willing to pay certain things. Like, for example, like you know, my wife got me into playing World of Warcraft, and she wanted to spend $20 to take her level 1 character to a level 100 character, and I looked at her and I'm like, so you want to pay to not play the game? So I mean, that's the way I saw it. And, you know, that's just the way, I mean, other people think differently on that, but, you know, and that's just, you know, because she's like, but I've already done all this. Because, I mean, she's played it for, like, a few years. I mean, I've only played it for, like, about a year, but, you know. So, I mean, I have a different opinion on it. But it just, and they still charge that on Warcraft, because that's what people are willing to pay for that.
Doesn't cost them money to take it out. Why would they take it away?
Well, I mean, if they wanted to sell it more, like maybe cheaper, you know, something like that. That's what I was getting at.
Well, again, I can draw from my own experience with what I do is if they make any money at all and they don't have to do any effort to keep something in the game that people can spend money for, then they're going to. The only time they're going to bother removing something is if they have a reason to do so. You know, like the game that I run, people can purchase weapons and stuff like that, and they don't have to. But there's a perceived value there, and then, you know, other people brag about their weapons, and other people are like, oh, I gotta spend this amount of money.
We kind of been delaying the question.
The question, yeah.
Want to go to the question now?
Sorry, I'll read that. So apologies if you're still here, OZ. Yes, Zed, because I'm Canadian. OZ_195. Any games coming out in the future that you're looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Monster Hunter World. My coworkers are all looking forward to Monster Hunter World, and I'm considering getting it when it comes out personally. But any other games? I can't think of any other games, because I've gotten a few games this year. Like, I would like to get Final Fantasy XIV, all of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and by the way, him specifically, because he's it was his Wii U I borrowed to actually play Monster Hunter. I'm not a huge fan of it, but you would probably be interested in this game called Dauntless that I've been watching King Ironside stream. He's really into that game, and it's kind of like Monster Hunter. So I don't know if it's in a closed beta right now. If anybody wants to check it out, I don't know how much it is, but
maybe. And also, just to let you know, this is an MMO as opposed to the other games. Monster Hunter World is an MMO.
Oh, neat.
So that's going to be different than just the standard game. So I don't know. I've seen the Japanese game and how it's played, and that's why I have some interest in it. I could I could get a VPN, pay for like this wallet thing, so I could pay monthly to play the Japanese version if I really want to, right? But since they're bringing it over to North America, I could just pay here, and I assume it's going to cost less than converting money and stuff like that anyways. Plus, I'd be able to actually read, you know, words. I don't speak any Japanese at all, other than basic words.
Right.
Like domo.
I think I probably know more Japanese than you do, but
Well, okay, I know a little.
I don't remember much of it anymore, though.
Gundam. That's a word. Gundam. It's in their dictionary. That's how popular that word is.
Really?
Yeah, because it's such a popular. It's like Pikachu.
What does it mean?
I don't know. I don't know what it literally means, to be honest. I wonder. I'm curious.
Well, the thing is it's not actually written the way it would be, because the Japanese runs on a syllabus. So, there's no word that can end with an M, but, so I'm not exactly sure what it exactly would be. I only know this because I took Japanese, so.
Then I guess you would know more than me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I only took a year of it, but, and also the way their sentence structure is literally like Yoda speak. Like, I mean, no joke.
Like, the only thing I remember is it's Gundamu.
Yeah. But, for example, like if I was to ask somebody's name, that's like one of the few phrases I still remember. It's like, Anata no namae wa nan desu ka? Which literally, if you directly translate it, it says, your name, what is it?
all I can tell about Gundam is that it's a noun.
Yeah. I think basically that might have been a word that was just created for that show.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too... I mean, but, like, for example, like Godzilla, in Japanese, it's not Godzilla,
Gojira.
it's Gojira, which literally translates to ape lizard.
Oh. Ape what? The sound cut out.
Ape lizard.
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't see I can see the lizard, but I don't... But,
Yeah. My information on the name is third hand. I have a friend who speaks Japanese quite fluently.
Yeah,
and he told me
I
that
actually...
it's in their dictionary, so that's the only information I have about it.
Yeah. I actually do have a friend who actually did grow up in Japan, although you look at him, he's not Japanese, but I don't know. So I don't know why he lived in Japan, but whatever.
There's a lot of people. Two people that did.
Yeah.
Lord, do you have a game?
What?
Oh, I was gonna get into that. Actually, I don't have any new games I'm looking forward to. I'm still trying to build my retro collection. I just bought this one this weekend, Beyond the Beyond. So, specifically, I'm trying to buy like the PS1 RPGs right now. Is what I'm going for.
Why don't you just buy all the Shovel Knight DLC? Oh, right, because that company's awesome.
Yeah, because they don't. Well, I mean, now they are. I mean, like they're after they do King Knight, that will be their last free DLC.
Hmm.
So every other character that they do after that, I think, will be paid. But whatever.
It's hard to believe that CD Projekt Red has been able to do that as well.
Yeah.
Not one that's coming out myself, but yeah. I looked interesting. The Battlefront 2 looked interesting to me, though I felt they were liars about Battlefront. But a lot of my life is dedicated to doing lore videos. You'd be surprised at how much work you have to do for so little money. So I don't have a lot of time for games. So I don't necessarily look forward to games coming out and all that stuff. But I mean, I was looking forward to I was interested to see what they were going to do with Battlefront 2. But that's about mine. And Shadow of War. Yeah. Yeah.
I have Shadow of War and I have Assassin's Creed, and those are the new games I have. Kitty! I see a kitty.
No, my stepson bought Shadow of War here this weekend, and yeah, that game looks awesome. It's like man. Sometimes I wish I did have a current generation console, but then I realize I don't care.
I don't find Shadow of War like super awesome looking and stuff. It's just kind of like, in my opinion, par for the course with some exception.
Mm-hmm.
To be pretty, like, the Assassin's Creed game looks really, really good. That's what you would expect. And Battlefront games obviously are top notch in terms of and sound, atmosphere. Atmosphere.
Well, yeah,
I was trying to remember that word earlier.
The way they look, they look great. I mean, the thing is, that's the thing about these AAA titles is they all look great with the exception of like Unity, but the Assassin's Creed Unity. But that was kind of a foobar. But, and that's just it. It's like it's not something that could have destroyed Ubisoft, but it's like whenever that's one thing like I can't stand is when people go, okay, we've had this great series up until this point. Now everything that they come out with is shit. From my understanding is that was like the shittiest one that they had, and then they picked it back up with the next one. I can't remember what it was called. I remember my friends really enjoyed that one, the one that was like in the 1800s or something like that.
PC4?
No. After Unity.
The England one?
Syndicate. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard that one did pretty well. So.
I would like to do entire episodes, perhaps on particular game companies or franchises like Ubisoft. A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Successes, failures.
I have a friend who works for Ubisoft.
That's where I want to work one day. One day I want to get there. I do live in Canada.
Well, I got there's 2 games actually, Red Dead 2 and Sea of Thieves. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
City of Thieves, is that based off the what do you call it, the story stuff?
The what?
Your voice messed up, Baron.
Oh, yeah.
It's because I didn't want to interrupt Joe.
Oh,
No, you're good.
is it?
To Sea of Thieves because I think it looks like a fun little adventure pirate game. That's pretty much it.
I'm just wondering if it's based off like the book series of City of Thieves.
Oh, really?
Because that's written by. Yeah, we should end soon. So, any other questions?
Well,
or
I was gonna say is like I actually lied about the new game. I forgot there's a new one that is coming out. I do want. It's the new Wolfenstein.
oh yeah, I've heard good things, and yeah.
Well, that one they're not even. They didn't even do a multiplayer. They just said, "Hey, let's just make a great single player game."
And I like that. That's why I got Shadow of War, even though technically it has multiplayer. I don't.
Well, yeah.
Bethesda's got great single story games.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. It's Bethesda that owns id now.
Yeah.
I was like, I was gonna say thanks id. I'm like, that's not right anymore.
I do like Bethesda games, even though the dialogue options sometimes are really screwed up and weird in them.
You know, speaking of old Bethesda game, or what's that? Oh, I'm thinking different company. I'm thinking BioWare. My bad.
BioWare? Yeah, they've had a mixture of good and bad games, but I like their really, really good games.
Well, I was saying like one of their lesser known games that I really enjoyed from BioWare. For some reason, I was thinking, I don't know why I thought Bethesda with them, but that's because they kind of had the same weird choices with Jade Empire. I don't know if you guys ever played that one.
I know of it.
Yeah, it was on the original Xbox, and it was.
Yes.
Yeah,
I remember
and
now.
it was kind of like it was a Chinese setting, and so it was more about martial arts and stuff like that. So it was action oriented, but you could definitely tell the dialogue was very influenced by them when they were making because I think just before that they came out with the original KOTOR. So, or yeah.
Is
My
that
favorite
like a
games.
real-time strategy where you could choose where you're attacking and there's this whole plot line?
They call it turn-based strategy, actually, in this particular case.
Okay.
Because it actually is
Jade Empire
turn-based.
was an action game, so it was more martial arts and stuff. So it was more like, like it was just an action game. That's the best way I could put it.
Okay. Well, there was a game that I used to play. I guess it wasn't that one, where you could the storyline was basically
Yes, it is, Shane.
armies versus armies, and you could choose things that would help you out and stuff like that. It had different arc lines. It was interesting.
Are you thinking of? Oh shit! What was the name of the game? God damn it! I think I know which game you're talking about. And I remember playing that one. That was on the PlayStation that I'm thinking of, though.
Okay, I forget the system was on. It may have been, but yeah, I just thought it was interesting because you would you could make alliances or stuff, or not alliances, and then you, like right before the battle, you could choose like advantages you may have had, or after that, you could choose things that would help your armies or not help your armies. It was really interesting.
Top down?
game.
Is that the Genghis Khan game, Total War?
No, it's not a Total War. It was a fun game.
I don't remember the name of the damn game that I'm thinking of anymore.
Real
You'll remember it when we get off, I promise.
Yeah.
I will. I'm really.
Real-time strategy.
I'll remember it next week and go, oh, and then I'll message you and be like, hey, Laura, this is what I was talking about.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't really... Real-time strategy was one of my favorite series for a long time. Like, I don't want to bring that up now because I'd go on forever and ever and ever and ever. But, you were part of the VidMe Love things, weren't you? Baron Man?
Yeah.
For the videos,
I
right?
was at first, yeah.
Yeah, no, I just mean like we did some videos playing real-time.
Oh, yeah, we did,
Red Alert and Command. I've just been...
yeah, Command and Conquer.
Yeah, and that was interesting.
Yeah, that was fun.
You didn't know what you're doing.
Well, it's been years since I played them, so and I wasn't very good at them. I didn't play multiplayer, so
Yeah, I was just got screwed over, even though I know what I'm doing, because you know AI, like little ants overrunning you.
yeah, exactly right.
What can you do? So, any other topics? Anything else you guys want to bring?
No, I think we should be good for the night then.
Yeah, on that, dude. I was gonna say on that topic, I'm getting a little tired. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I'm one of the older people, so I'm gonna have to say my adieu pretty quickly.
Yeah, we
Alright.
expect these to go for an hour to an hour and a half. I would say roughly. Today is slightly longer, I guess, because there's lots of stuff to go on tangents about.
Yeah.
So I personally just want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to be doing this, the three of us. So that's Baron Man, Happy Married Gamer, and myself, Linktheinformer. We're going to be doing this every Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, you know, if you want to give the channel a follow, then you don't miss out. And every week we're going to be talking about nerdy things. So this week, kind of a mixed bag of video games and Star Wars and Star Trek. With the wonderful person here, LoreReloaded, who I highly recommend give a follow. Do I still have your channel saved? As well as Baron Man and Joe here. So eventually I'm going to set up a bot that just, you know, does stuff like that.
Didn't you say there's a guest next week too?
Yep, there's going to be a guest next week, Kentantino provided, and that kind of stuff. And oops, I'm screwing up typing letters. See, I should just have this stuff prepared, and I don't because I suck.
I'm just watching in chat that Kevin Kitsune now realizes Oz 195 is Mega Shane. So, Prince that actually used to live here.
And there's a Discord if you want to join. It's super fun. So,
Yep.
You guys got any last words?
Thank you, chat, for
Whoa,
coming.
dude, that sounds like death.
Before I take you out back?
Well, I want to say thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us. Thank you, Lore. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man. Love your stuff. Want to get more into your Star Trek videos. I think they're great. I think they're very analytical, like you said. You're a previous analyst, and I'm actually wanting to look at more of your Star Trek videos where you're talking. It's just very interesting. So you got me hooked right now. So, and it's a pleasure to talk to you, bud.
Sweet, thanks. I
Is
can't wait to
one-
come back and watch the next show. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Maybe you could even be
Totally.
part of more shows. Be awesome.
There we go.
So I'm gonna
It's only episode 1. We might have returning guests.
50 episodes, 5,000 episodes, 8 bits, 16 bits. We'll just do a bit wars. Actually, I wouldn't mind talking about the console wars at some point, Atari to so on.
Okay.
That's why my name is Linktheinformer, because I know useless shit. Seriously, that's why my name is that. For knowing the useless shit. So I'm gonna host a friend on my team, Team Panda Jammer. So I'm not gonna raid or anything, but you know I'm gonna be over there at least for a few minutes, anyways, before heading to bed. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Baron Man. I was thinking Lord Baron Man, but, you know, Lord Baron Man. Oh, thank you for the bit, Oz. Thank you, Baron Man. Happy Married Gamer. LoreReloaded, and thank you, Linktheinformer, for being the one person I can look to for encouragement anytime I'm down. I'll see you guys over there. Oh shit, damn it! Twitch has screwed up everything, so host, let me do it this manual.
Alright.
Third House Plays, welcome. Good night, everybody.
Have a good night, y'all.